John Deere 4440 long blocks. So our long blocks are valve cover to oil pan, water pump, front cover, oil filter base, oil filter, tack drive, because there can be two different ones, oil cooler setup, front and rear crank seals, lifting hooks, custom stand, and cage to ship it in to prevent any forklift damage. So our process on these is completely disassembled. Head goes to the shop, gets reworked, new guides, new seats, complete valve job. Coolers are cleaned. If they've got any contamination in them, then they're replaced. Overhauled or rebuilt water pump, oil pump. Flush everything out, make sure there's no contaminants in any of the galleys. Ours do include injectors. We've got to put these in. And the idea behind that is we wanted to prevent any potential customer warranty issue. So if you had a bad fuel system or bad injector, we wouldn't want to wash out a cylinder and then have an issue with who's to blame for the warranty. So that's why we've done that. We don't require you to do your pump, but if your pump doesn't work good, then you'll know. One thing we do, just for full disclosure, this is a heat tab. So if if it gets hot, then that will burn out. If this is removed, automatically just voids your warranty. We want to warranty all of the issues that we would potentially create in our workmanship or parts, whatever. We just don't want to warranty the stuff that someone else can contribute to. So if it overheats because the radiator stopped up or whatever the reason is, that's something that just makes warranties hard. So we want to eliminate all those, and that's why we've done what we have done. One other thing that I'll make a note of, it's not real hard for, if you do it every day, it's probably less, but if you don't do it every day and you're doing this in your shop and this engine gets to swinging and you ding that oil seal, well, it's going to leak as soon as you put it in. So again, we'll require documentation of what this looks like, and if there's a big ding across here where it's hit something on your tractor, it's just hard to warranty that from a labor. We've seen you a seal, not a problem, but the labor is the biggest piece of it. The 4440 can have two oil pumps or driven two different ways, which is why we put the tack drive on. We do keep the original serial numbers so we will know if it is cam driven or crank driven. Some people have a preference, some don't. And then a lot of it is just availability. What can we actually build? Which leads me to the oil pan. So we've struggled getting the proper fit oil pans, if you will, for all of these 466s. We've been building a bunch of them. So sometimes we even had to say put a combine pan on it just to keep it, complete or sealed up. So the oil pan is the only thing that we know up front that could be something you've got to swap. So just want to let you know about that. You can compare that, and it's way easier to do that prior to having it on the hook and ready to install it. So all you really need to do is compare your sump, and as long as your sump matches, sometimes there's a cast number on the outside of the pan, sometimes there's not, and also the sump cast number or the oil pan cast number can be different. So physical, and here's a good example. I can see this oil pan here is different than this one, so automatically I know I gotta swap an oil pan potentially. Besides that, just doing good mechanical work, making sure you put oil in it, make sure you prime your fuel system, keep a manual gauge on it until you get it running so that nothing happens to it. If you do that, we've had great success with these engines, and should last you a long, long time, as long as it's maintained.